the Sustainability and Beautification Committee. Roll call is first. Epstein is here. Mandell.
Present.
Rittenberg. She's blowing her leaves. Kato.
Here.
Thompson. Meehan.
Here.
Lewis. And Jarrard.
Here.
So we have a quorum, correct?
1, 2,
You're good to go.
Okay.
5.
Any announcements? No okay, I'm sorry, I do have an announcement. I got a thing from the city of LA. There's a beautification conference, September 19th. I believe it's in the Griffith Park area. And I have a flyer and I can share it with everybody. I believe it's in person. I was invited to go last year, but it was online, which I saw no point in really going to an online beautification conference. But if anyone's interested, I'll share the flyer. That is it's in September. So it'd be great for if one or more members attended. Okay.
I'll roll through it, Andy.
Forward to me as well.
What's that?
Oh, forward that to me, please.
Yes, I will. Those are the only announcements I have. Public comments from the public on non-agenda items. I see no hands raised, so we will move on to government representatives. I see none. Approval of the minutes. We can do that by consent of hands. Just one hand, please, Chip. Thank you. And 5 fingers. We had a guest speaker from Tree People, but she canceled last minute, family emergency, so she may join us next month or the month after. So the first agenda item is discussion, possible motion regarding the removal of invasive reed on the LA River. And there's a link. I believe it's a video link and photos, etc., that Scott Mandell provided. I'm hoping all have looked at those. And Scott, I offer the microphone to you.
Well, thank you. I will read the motion. Get it? It says a request for action addressing the environmental concerns along the Los Angeles River relating to the proliferation of the invasive grass known as giant reed, aka arundo. The board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council asks that Council Member Rahman request from the appropriate city, county, and government agencies the immediate and complete eradication of the giant reed groves in Studio City. Giant reed is a fast-growing, highly invasive bamboo-like grass introduced to Southern California in the 1800s. It now plagues waterways statewide. It crowds out native plants, consumes massive amounts of water, increases fire risks, and alters the river ecosystems. These groves pose a serious danger to the local LA River watershed as well as areas downstream. This invasive should be eradicated immediately. And then there's a link to everything you ever wanted to know about giant reed. There's photos that I took. There's all kinds of other locators, Google Maps pointing out to where these 2 groves are with the approximate addresses. And then the SCNC requests a report back on timelines, jurisdictional responsibilities, as well as the status of the request, and if it has or has not been acted upon. Do I have a second?
I second.
So this sounds a bit, or may sound a bit off the wall, but we are the Sustainability Committee, and arundo, giant reed, is very bad news. And the fact that we are hosting it in Studio City would come as a surprise to many people. So basically all the information's there. We want our council member, which we have to have a nexus to a city agency to do this. So the council member will be the one contacting Supervisor Barger's office, Department of Public Works, possibly Corps of Engineers, whoever else gets involved with the river. There's an herbicide that even Jack Smith from Tree People says is safe, and that's the only way to get rid of it. There are crews that come out regularly, as Katherine and I both know. They chop it down, and before they've chopped the last stalk, it's already back up again, like Jack and the Beanstalk. And it's in full swing again as of yesterday. So without rambling on anymore, if anyone has any questions or comments,
Put it in
not.
context. To put it in context, Scott, it's not a classic weed with roots down. It's rhizomes, correct? They go horizontal. The roots grow horizontal. So when the city comes and hacks it, they're not doing anything essentially to kill the weeds. They're not really removing it. Am I right?
It hasn't been removed in years. It
No,
just,
you're correct. It
let
needs to be.
Katherine-
But I mean, it's being
Katherine
removed
sees it more
incorrectly
than
by
me.
the city.
Yeah.
Catherine's
Okay,
got her hand
that's
up.
the gist of it. Is I believe you have photos of the reed taken down by the city. They machete it or however, but that's pointless because underground the rhizomes are continuing to live. So this motion is asking for a corrective measure. Kat?
Okay, so some of the sections are actually in private property,
Mhm.
but we could get the supervisors or council districts to ask we can give them information. They've been cutting it many times a year, and it's lifetime employment for someone, but we would like to see the eradication, at least locally. And there actually is another local tree along the river that's invasive, and it gets chopped down, but chopping it makes it worse. And it's called Tree of Heaven. It grows to the sky, and the more you chop it, the more roots it sends out, and the more trees it makes. And there is also, it may be even the same control, and there's a certain time frame for the best practices for each of these treatments for the specific thing you want to eradicate. So maybe we need to look at the time frame also of what we're requesting, and and tell them these are the best months to control it.
Is it? I'm sorry, I can't remember. Is it an herbicide that
Yes.
takes it
Yes.
down? And the name of it is what? Do you have a name? I mean, should we include the name in the motion? Is probably what I was trying to say.
They know what it is. It's all USDA, Department of Agriculture, EPA, all those agencies. They've been using it all over California and all across the nation where it grows.
And it's not
Okay.
that toxic?
Like I said, Jack Smith said, well, let's see what Amanda has to say.
Okay, questions. I don't know I'm
Go
the
ahead.
only
Go
person
ahead.
that's part of this. I was wondering if you've been talking to the Friends of the LA River, because they are really experienced with all of this.
No, not in this
They
area.
could-
We have not.
They could probably be really helpful.
Jack Smith, you've heard Jack Smith, not that Jack Smith. This Jack Smith is with Tree People, and he is one of the more noted experts on native plants. Manages the Tree People Park up there and is one of the chairs of the Urban Forestry Commission.
I love tree people. I just know
So,
that
Yeah,
they
so he'd
deal
be
with
good.
so much with the Friends of the LA River
Yeah.
and all of that growth. So that's an option.
I
Reach
think
out to
that's a
them.
good
Amanda's-
point, though. We should add full R to the
They'll be copied.
recipients. They are, okay.
Say it again, Scott.
When I write up the motion, assuming it gets approved for distribution, it will go to Tree People and FOLAR and anyone else we could think of. Maybe that other organization that does the invasives in the Sepulveda Basin, and just we'll let all of them know that we have giant reed here in Studio City. I think they'll be horrified if they don't already
California
know this.
Native Plant Society is the other one
Yeah.
you're thinking of.
So we'll I mean, again, Amanda makes good points, as well as Katherine always, that a good portion of at least one of the groves is partially on private property, but someone's been hacking it on the private and on the county right away in both areas. The smaller grove over by Sprouts as well. So this is the start. And then once the neighborhood council board gives us its blessing, then I and whoever else wants to, we can run with it. And
Before we vote on this, Katherine and Scott, can we, I don't want to change this at all, but for the next meeting, maybe we go after this Trees of Heaven, document it and do a similar motion. Because I know exactly what you're talking about. It's that thing that just pops up all over the place. And those are trees.
Well, and the same thing, they are trees, but the same thing happens, right? So bad treatment, bad husbandry
Yeah,
creates a worse scenario than if you left it alone.
right.
Because the plant, when you cut the top off, you're now flooding the roots with hormones and they will go crazy. There's not the balance between the roots and the shoots. So the more they do this, the more they mow it to the ground, the worse it gets. I've been pulling some tree of heaven out that has been cut, and there are knobs. It's a 1.5 inch shoot, and it's been cut so many times right below the ground, it's the size of a softball, and you can't get tools around that knob.
Yes, also, I think that the treatment is, the county comes through and they put Roundup on everything. So this would be a good way that they won't use Roundup on those areas with those Tree of Heaven. And instead they would use the specialized spot treatment.
Yeah. So
And
I think
also
that's
it's toxic to dogs, so that might attract some interest.
do we want to revise this and include Tree of Heaven in this motion?
I think we could.
then
Yeah.
we need photos and a little more. I mean, this one is so documented, and I think the
Yeah.
Arundo is what really strikes fear in the hearts of aquatic people interested in the LA River, and maybe this can be a companion one next month. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should
Okay.
wait. I think it should, something that should have been specifically noticed, but wait a second. What is toxic to dogs, Catherine?
The
Roundup.
tree,
Oh,
the
Roundup.
tree itself, the Tree of Heaven,
well,
Oh, the Tree of Heaven is also toxic?
is toxic to dogs, yeah.
Oh,
native trees are.
but if you put Roundup on it, it becomes non-toxic.
Well,
Huh.
instead of Roundup, I think they use some other agent. I'm not certain about that.
Huh.
The herbicide for the giant reed is in the link. It links to
Okay.
.gov agencies, and it shows them going through, waterways where it is just, animals can't even walk past it. It's so thick and dense. So it's very well, if I might say, researched, just specifically for giant reed.
Hmm.
So Katherine volunteered to do the other one for next month. So
Beautiful. We have a
we
topic
can
for next
model it
month.
after this one.
Okay.
If anyone would like, I can reach out. I'm working with Fuller on something right now to do with my book. If you would like me to check with them to.
Sure.
Absolutely. And who do you deal with, Amanda, over there?
Oh, what I'm dealing with is totally, it's separate. It's not dealing with the, a problem in the river, but they have they have quite a staff. So they have people that are specialized specifically in dealing with, the plants and the overgrowth in the river. And I could find out and connect you with that person.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Amanda,
Who
what do you?
should I,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
who should I have them of you? Who should I have them reach out to?
Scott and I. You have my email,
Okay.
but also Scott both our emails are on the Neighborhood Council website and the committee page.
Okay, I will find out this week and connect you with the right person.
Okay, should we vote on the motion? I think we shall. And that would require me to find my notes. I know I'm first. Ay, 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 ay. All right, so now a vote on the motion. Epstein votes yes. Mandell,
Yes.
Rittenberg,
Yes.
Kato,
Yes.
Thompson, Meehan,
Yes.
Jarrard.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Passed. Okay, next agenda item. That's Jerry Lewis calling in. Let me answer that. Hello, Jerry. Okay, we're in the sustainability meeting right now.
Okay.
Would you like to join us, or should I call you back?
Oh, well, be on it.
Okay, I'll call you back after the meeting. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Is it Zoom?
Yes.
You don't need me to launch it, do you?
No, but we will need you. That's what we need to talk about is recording it, but that's another issue.
I can do that.
Um,
It's on?
yeah, but don't worry about this one. It's a future issue. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Bye. Sorry about that, guys. I can't find my second page. Oh, there it is. Okay. The next issue is the Zev Greenway. I got an email from Rebecca, or did we all get the email? I can't remember who she sent this to. Rebecca Chorus with what is she with? MRCA. And she wanted to let us know that they're the ones that maintain the Zev Greenway. And Scott and Chip add on if I don't have the correct information. She wrote to tell us that they put out a bid to remove 11 Mexican fan palm trees and trim 10 deciduous trees like the Chinese elm and the sumac at the LA River Zev Yaroslavsky Greenway. Depending on the bid amounts, she may be able to add a few more invasive tree removals if the budget allows. Please note that tree trimming is to improve the overall health and safety of the trees, and the palm removal is part of the ongoing invasive plant management that they have conducted for years, now targeting the palms, tree of heaven, and other species. As you are aware, this work has not allowed our native oaks and sycamores to flourish on that site and provide ample community respite and habitat for native species, including the endangered crotch bumblebee. She wants us to notify the community of the work, which will start at the end of the nesting season, September 1st. We will also be working on some of the items that you all discussed on your walk in the coming months, including removal of unsightly irrigation pipes and design and implementation of bridging of the swale, relocation of benches, redefining the DG area around the drinking fountain. So, which I think is good news. And I would love to document it and share it with the community. So we have to sort of stay in touch with her and either go shoot it ourselves or find out if she's going to document it. Did you too, Scott, Chip, did you want to add to this?
You go first, Scott.
Oh, no. Well, I see she mentioned 11 of those palms. There's about 3 dozen. So maybe that's all they can afford right now. It would be nice if they got rid of all of them.
Yeah.
And I don't know what this tree of life or tree of heaven, what they look like. I'd like to see not a picture on a website, but someone send me a picture of one of those, either from the Zev or along between Tujunga and Colfax, so I can check other areas of the river and the wash in Studio City to see if it's growing elsewhere as well.
Yeah,
But-
I can take.
Yeah.
I can take it to that. Laurel Grove. I'll send you separately a place to look for it where I've been taking it out.
Katherine, you're nodding your head. You know an area?
Yeah, I can send some photos of the local ones. I know.
Right.
You'll
then-
recognize it as soon as you see it.
Okay. And I think it's good news from Rebecca. I don't know when you think it's appropriate to tell the community that the trees, the palms are coming down and other work on the Zev. Right now, it might be too early. So-
Yes.
maybe put it in the calendar for, maybe 2 weeks before, and then I'll certainly go. I like to see some of the palms come down, so I'll record some of it.
I'm going to respond to her and, just have her keep us in touch in terms of the timeline.
We have plenty of before photos, so it'd be nice to see the afters.
Yeah.
Well, I'd
Yeah.
love to send her a before photo. I don't have one that I haven't taken a picture to capture the palms, right? Because all of my stuff is elsewhere and I keep forgetting to get one. I'd like her to actually have a photo and tell us what's coming down. Because even the Harvard Westlake people didn't seem to know. And the reason I bring this up is we're telling people what's going on so that we don't have pitchforks and torches that people
Yeah.
are screaming at people, right?
Yeah.
We don't have an answer because she still doesn't know what is going to fall within the scope of work based on her budget. Um, so we really don't have the information from her. And if Scott and I kind of wrote something that would be a press release from our conversation with her, that doesn't feel quite right for us to write a promotional piece. I'd like to get some more information from her before
So,
you go out.
well, let's follow up. I mean, I'll follow up in this meeting and we'll continue the chain and we'll ask her for a timeline and a specificity. She has to have a line item because she's getting bids.
Yeah. And the
So,
Harvard Westlake people want to know because they don't want to be blamed for something that
yeah,
they're not doing.
yeah,
I don't blame them.
yeah. All right, I will follow up on that.
Well, and then we can start to figure out what we can do to agitate for removal of the rest of them. The other problem, Andy, is they don't have the money. And because they've been grown into that steep hill, they're not going to take the roots out. So it's the same problem we were just talking about. You're going to lop the top off this giant grass, which is going to sprout within weeks.
Well, we can certainly ask her, but
Well, so we'll need to keep going back and constantly cutting the green shoots off this palm. It takes 18 months to finally exhaust the roots.
I mean, she mentioned, where did she mention? Yeah.
Our understanding was that everything that stands is Zev, not Harvard Westlake property. But Scott, didn't we see some that were on their side, the Harvard Westlake side of the fence?
There's one. There's a few that are in between the construction fence and the wrought iron, which according to Harvard Westlake, that's Zev.
Yeah.
They're kind of like in the no man's land. And then there's one actually on Harvard Westlake's property. And Ari should have an update on that at the next board meeting if they're going to cut it down.
All right, we'll follow up. I'll follow up. I mean, I'm surprised the trees haven't been tagged already if they got a bid. That's how I do it if I took out a tree. Any more on the Zev? Okay. The next item was going to be our guest from Tree People, and they were talking about this big program to plant a lot of trees, but I've invited her back next month, so hopefully she'll come back. I don't know if I included that. I had a link to this thing it's a new program called Rooting for LA, and it sounds, there it is. It sounds like Garcetti's or whoever it was, that million trees in LA, but this is their initiative to plant 28,000 trees in the next 2 years. So hopefully she can explain more. I don't know if it involves us or not. I don't know how far out into the city they're going.
Yeah, I think they're soliciting funds. They're soliciting donations for that already. Yeah.
So the next was the Silver Triangle request to beautify. Chip, did you have an update on that?
Yeah, I'm going back and forth with Mehmet. I'd like to get some understanding of what that would cost to get that done, because we're going to need to go to a nonprofit and have a nonprofit take it over, right? So we'll need to go to Beautification, for example, and have them say, yes, we'll adopt this median.
So I did. I went to Barry and they said they passed.
Why is that?
Not in their budget for this year or the next year. That was a quick pass by Beautification.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And they're not interested in potentially pursuing a grant for something like that.
I didn't go any further. I have noticed that some of those medians that we've adopted, that you and I adopted many years ago and beautified, are becoming somewhat of an eyesore.
Yeah. And the
Um,
ones that the neighborhood council funded, where he put in the ironwood trees, but then knowing full well that our requirement was that it would be 100% native, they
Yeah.
still put the non-native ground cover in, but the ironwoods have died. And that's
Yeah.
because the irrigation doesn't work. So it seems that they're not paying attention to beautification. I wish we would have another organization that would be
Yeah.
refreshed. Now, that said, what's his name? I just lost his name. That was your protege for a while.
My protege.
No,
Oh,
that was working with you for a while until he got his architectural license, his landscape architecture license.
oh
He
yeah.
works.
He's still running that committee.
Right. So he wanted money
Doug.
to,
Doug.
Doug, right? Doug wanted money to put native-ish trees along the median on Vineland, where there are no trees. And I think he was talking like Mexican blue oaks or blue pines. I wasn't familiar with what he was talking about. And it's not really native here because it's from farther south, but who knows if that's the right thing to plant for 50 years out. But until he starts taking care of the beds, I don't
Yeah.
want to give him more money because we've given him $5,000 for not
Yeah.
$5,000 worth of plantings, and now they're not taking care of it. So what's the point?
They were tasked with designing a beautification of Tahunga Village. And they had a meeting, which I attended, and they were supposed to have a delivery, an idea board. I thought it was within 30 days, and that was probably 2 months ago. But anyway, I don't know what's happening with that committee.
A long time ago, but yeah, that, and also they trimmed some of the Chitalpa trees on Tahunga and Tahunga Village and didn't trim others. They didn't even finish the job.
Well, that's not beautification. That was the city.
Well, but that was, okay, but yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the the guy, that's the same guy, right? Doug
No,
Short,
no.
different person, okay.
Yeah, that's yeah. Denise, I think coordinated that, so it's GD2. Katherine, you have your hand up. Katherine, your mic. Can't hear you, Kat.
You're muted.
Sorry, I had an idea about combining the Centennial with the Turnabout, roundabout. I was say, let's plant, if we can get water there, maybe we can plant some kind of legacy tree, but we need the, structure to go around the roundabout.
I think it's symbolic of the fact that we always go around in circles on this board.
I'll continue to push with Mehmet. One of the things I thought about was that we might be able to get some groundwater infiltration there because it's at the bottom of the drainage and it's, but there seems to be some infrastructure in the middle of it. So we need to find out whether or not we could actually make that what we could do with it. We did hear Melanie Winter had a vision for a great oak to be in the middle of this giant round, and there started to get all kinds of noise about, yeah, but what if somebody runs into it?
Yeah, my concept of that turnabout, and I've driven it. I have clients in and around there. I think you want clear vision. I don't think you want any tree. I think
No,
everything should be native and low,
yeah, I
really
agree with you.
subtle, pretty, nice, and not concrete. A tree is just say somebody jumps the curb and you're right into the tree.
Right.
but
And
it's just
so
also
I'll
vision.
continue to push on that,
Yeah.
but so
I
at least
mean-
we have an answer for what the number would be.
Is Mehmet open to the idea or low priority?
It's sort of a low priority for him at this point. They're kind of slammed, with all the staff turnovers over there, with the distraction with their council member trying to be the mayor. I think it's a hard place to
Maybe
get.
we, on Catherine's idea, maybe we put a time capsule, bury a time capsule in that turnabout with a little plaque in the center, 100-year time capsule. Anyway, just a
Well, at
weird
this point, we're
psychedelic idea.
able to pull the manhole cover up and just drop it
Yeah,
down.
yeah. There you go.
But I'll continue to work on that so we find out what's going on. And then in riding around, Scott, I don't know of any other places where, since we didn't get a lot of love from slow streets, there's not a lot of paint and bollard areas that are candidates for landscaping that I'm aware of.
I haven't really looked for that. I've been photographing other types of invasives,
Yeah.
so I can start keeping an eye out for that.
Kat?
There's a very ugly triangle on, I don't know if you can plant anything there, but the Laurel Canyon and what is that, Valley Heart or something?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the
Chains and
west
bollards.
side? West side?
Yeah, on the west side, chains and ugly, I mean, there's just some
was,
art project gone wrong.
Yeah.
Could be
That was
beautified.
planted. Someone planted that.
That was adopted by, I believe the bid paid, I know the landscape architect that did that, but it was done about 5 years ago. But it's just, I believe a few cars have run over it and they just can't maintain it.
Oh,
It's just it's a tough area.
it's
mean-
not attractive at all.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
And dappling blue and green paint on the post doesn't help either.
But they did the other areas nicely. The bid did the other areas on Ventura Place.
Mhm.
They're nicely done. So consistency, not a theme.
Well, we should talk to Vicky about that and see if she's involved there anymore. I thought there was a GoFundMe because we wouldn't take that at the time as beautification, Andy.
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
homeowners got pissed off and did it themselves.
right. And I think she helped them. I think Vicky did. Because you know the design firm Wild Flora?
Yeah.
They did that, but then it just got beat to hell. So, any other ideas up for discussion by this committee?
I've got a couple.
Great.
I think that taking a page from what we just talked about with outreach, I think if we take a look at doing education and mitigation for existing pollution sources, so take Laurie's get neighbors to split the cost of an electric blower versus a gas blower and use that as sort of a neighborhood co-op. But I also think the other stuff like the pickup lines, loitering in parking lots, I can't tell you how many times going just to Ralph's that the man of the house refuses to go into Ralph's and he's sitting in the car with the engine running and the air conditioning on in the parking lot for 30 minutes, let alone, the scourge of the DoorDash and all the other folks that are there. That's against the law. We need to get ahead of that. And also, I mean, the other day I was classic, all of the cars lined up against the kindergarten fence at Carpenter Avenue School. And the
Oh.
same thing, they're all with the engines running and the exhaust blowing down on the 5-year-olds behind the fence.
It's
So
it-
that's
every
part of it.
every school has that.
Yeah, and we should just have people think about it and see if that
Yeah.
makes a difference. So I'll keep working on the roundabout. I've always had for a couple of years now a pet project, and now that I'm not as
Wait, Chip, before
distracted.
you leave the idea of the video series, for lack of a better word,
Yeah.
because I wrote up like 10 ideas. I think I might go to the youth committee meeting, but I don't know when it is. But I'd love to make a presentation and incorporate Laurie's ideas and any other ideas we have to this youth committee, and see if we can get, see if a few eyes pop open and say, I'd love to, produce something. I think, what's her name? Justine is interested in helping on that too, if we give her like a large umbrella project.
I think that would be a good idea. I think she would be. I think she
Yeah.
knows some of the other kids that are on that, and the group seemed to be more alert than the last group. I mean, Scott, like there was no one that was looking at their phone, right? I mean,
Yeah,
they
they were
were paying
engaged.
more attention than the grown-ups were in the
I mean,
room.
we could do like what was the series that NBC used to do? You Need to Know or whatever that was.
Right, David Horowitz.
Yeah, but maybe if the board or or this committee did like one video, helpful video, once a month, how to use 311, how to do this, how to report homeless, whatever it is. We can give them a series of ideas and help them produce it. I think it's a fantastic idea.
Well, and if each of the kids did one, right? So the idea is they need to be given, not boil the ocean. They need to be told the community has a problem. The neighborhood
Yeah,
council can potentially be a solution. Take this one thing, do it, and explain that there was an area on the south side of Ventura between Van Noord and Fulton where there's a bunch of trees. We'd like to have that recognized as being an area with 300-year-old oak trees. How do we do something with that? They
yeah,
could write it up and that becomes their essay for
yeah,
college applications. So they do one. So if there's 6 or 8 that are produced by the 10 or 12 kids, great.
yeah. I think it's a cool idea.
So there's that. So there's that Oaks area where Bistro Garden used to be. It's now uh
Little Ventura,
yeah, over there.
south
And
side.
then also we should probably start talking for 27 about do we want to do something in April of 27 for Earth Month?
Earth Day, Earth Month.
So we should think about that because if we try to find something on March 1st, we're going to find out that every organization we speak with is overcommitted for the month of April. So we should figure something out now. If we're going to do, something by the river in that auditorium, whatever it would be, we should start thinking about it, start moving. And also, taking another page out of Laurie's book, tree people's talking about doing 28,000 trees. What if we just have for Studio City 100 trees for the Centennial
Mm.
and we do 100 natives? So we
That would
do
be
oaks, black walnuts, Catalina cherries, bay leaves.
that would be a perfect project to partner with Tree People
Yes.
because this board could afford. We have a budget. We could afford 100 trees, and Tree People would, in turn, scout, plant, maintain. I think it's a great idea.
Well, and if we have a nonprofit, we can start to solicit some of the developers that we're talking to in a bunch of other
Yeah,
places to
yeah,
help
yeah,
us with particularly irrigation, because we need to make sure that the maintenance of the trees until they get established lasts longer than maybe we do as part of the neighborhood council. So 36 months from now, that those trees are still getting their final little drink of water. And that might be a water truck, it might be, a tree gate or something like that. We need a nonprofit because we can't
yeah.
ourselves go for it.
There is that Hollywood beautification team.
And also there's Paula that you had come out and speak with us that's doing
Yeah,
work
yeah.
up in Sepulveda Basin.
Even
Amanda.
beautification could partner with us on this. If they don't fund it, they do the watering for a year or something or 2 years.
Well, and the bid would actually pay for some of the watering. It would pass through the
Yeah.
501c3 that's beautification.
So for the next meeting, Chip, why don't you, if you could shepherd that, let's put all those ideas onto one page for the next meeting. And we may have a Tree People rep with us next month.
And what I'll do is I'll try to put this together. I believe the youth committee is the 20th,
Okay.
which is I think next Monday.
Wow. Oh, okay.
So Jerry's got to move quickly, to get an agenda out.
And he's doing it in person?
That's my guess, is he was going to go back to NPR3 again.
No, okay. Be nice if I could just,
NPR3 is the bigger meeting room, Amanda,
Yeah.
over at Radford Studios.
I wish they just do a video link so we could contribute easier.
Yep.
Laurie,
Yeah. So, yeah, just speaking of the oaks, you know, on Little Ventura, that you love, Chip, and I love it too. You know, there's there's one dead tree and there's one giant dead oak tree stump. I mean, how do we get rid of those? How do we remove
that's
those?
CD4, correct?
Yeah, it is CD4.
So we don't have a field deputy as of today. All we have is what's his name? Jason? Who's the
Jay.
Jay? So Laurie, I mean, do you have pictures of the dead trees?
I can take pictures.
Why don't you take them? Do you have Jay's email? A CD4?
What's his last name? I
Or
can, well,
I have it in my contact list. I mean, I can send it to it. I can forward it. You can send it to me. I can forward it to him.
Okay.
We
But
can
I mean-
also do. We can also do. You can do a companion in my 311 and just report a dead tree.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one
Which-
tall dead tree and a big giant tree stump, and they're fire hazards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what we'd like to do is not just have them come out and grind it. I mean, because that's going to require some serious equipment to get
True.
a 3-inch. What are we going to do after that? So we would like permission to replace it,
Right, of course.
I think. Or do we want to make that, do we want to put a seating area there? I mean, we need to think about what we want to do with that area. So Sydney was apparently at one point working with the State Park Foundation, but all of that went away.
Yeah, I know you were talking to Sydney about that.
All right. We'll follow up on it. I mean,
All right, yeah, I'm gonna make a note. Okay.
Question?
Sure.
Have you talked to any firewood companies? I know there was a firewood company in Topanga that used to go and make deals with people that were cutting down tree stumps and just getting wood wherever they could get it here.
It's city property, so I don't know.
Mm,
I'd feel safer going direct to the people who are responsible and liable.
okay. And one other question with the videos. Have you approached schools and having them in their like high
Well,
schools?
All of our youth committees are attending local schools. Yeah. And Amanda, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Besides your birthday next month, what do you normally do the second Monday of the month around 7 o'clock? Because we have an opening on this committee.
Yeah, I would be interested. I'm traveling I've been traveling a good bit lately, for like a month at a time, but I can usually check in from where I am. I've been in Mexico.
All right, I'll send
but
you. I'll send you an application form.
Yeah, I'm really,
There is none. There is no application form.
But my day job is I'm a certification reviewer for the U.S. Green Building Council. So, and I'm very familiar with Tree People and Friends of the LA River and everything you're kind of talking about.
Great. Well, I'm glad you reached out to us about your book.
Yeah.
And I went to your site. It's very cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the book's not on there. There's nothing about the book on there. It is not published yet. It is printed. And the print is so great that people think that means it's been published, but it's not yet published. But we do another photographer and I do these hour-long presentations to really familiarize people with urban wildlife, and especially, particularly here, the Sepulveda Basin and the water reclamation plant, because it's such an incredible teaming and pairing of a municipal organization and then citizens. And most people have no idea that the reserve is even there.
We should do a compare and contrast Amanda's pictures and Scott's videos.
Yeah.
It's
So,
all in one happy place.
so this goes back, Bill, before I lose it, let me give you Jay's contact information for those that want it. It's jonathan.anderson@lacity.org, and he goes by Jay Anderson. And he is filling the shoes of Sydney and Walker right now.
And he promised us we'd have a new field deputy.
Yeah,
soon.
but I understand that's not going well.
Ah,
Walker left too?
Yes, Walker's going to NYU.
Oh,
There's a great deal of hysteria. I sent some of it out with regard to coyotes. I mean, it literally sounds like the townspeople in the 1920s. It's ridiculous. Let's get rid of the scourge of the coyotes. I think it would be a good idea. You know, Amanda has the Sepulveda Basin and that story. And that would just be one presentation, Amanda, or do you want a series?
That, right, it's an hour. But I
Wow.
also know someone who I just saw a fantastic presentation on coyotes that's done by a woman who's with the Pasadena Humane Society, and it is specifically coyotes and your dogs and the way the coyotes travel along the river, everything. And she did about a half-hour presentation, maybe a little longer, and it was in-depth and amazing.
here's our speaker series, Chip.
Yeah, I was about to ask you if it would be okay with you if I, at the pleasure of the chair, may I reach out to the guy at the Studio City Library and tell him that we have, some topics that might be of interest?
With Brian?
Yeah.
Brian's the one who
Chief
told me.
librarian. That's right. He's the one that connected us.
Oh,
Yeah. And Brian, actually, I think we've actually had a discussion about possibly hosting our next blood drive at the library. I just got an email from Red Cross. They're in another, emergency level. So I know it's not really this committee, but that's time for another discussion. But
yeah, so would it be okay with you, Andy, if we pursued with Brian having Amanda and the coyote person, schedule something?
does 2 make a series?
Well, you could actually draw a line between 2 points and project it out. So with
Do it 3 months out, yeah.
I
I
could
would
help
make
come up
sure-
with more. Not my book per se, but I know a lot of things that would be of interest and people.
That would be
I
great.
could-
And, and it occurred to me as we've kicked this idea around, but lost it just because we do the urgent, not the important stuff. But, Tree People, Audubon, Folar, Heal the Bay, everyone's got to have a half hour to 45-minute pitch that they use to get right. You would hope.
What about I don't think you could get Beth Pratt right now, but Beth Pratt is the one who raised $90 million for the Annenberg Wildlife Crossing.
Right.
And that is going to be going crazy further into the later summer and the fall. The opening date is supposed to be December 2nd. And that is just going to be this massive publicity blitz about urban wildlife and habitats. And
Do they
it's
just
such a
have
great
left-
thing to attach to.
Do they just have left? I drive under it all the time.
Yeah,
There's
the
no
side connections.
the connections. That's all
They're
that's
doing the
left,
connections.
right?
That's the main part left. They've already done they've put all of the infrastructure underground.
Yeah.
And now they are building up those levels because it takes a lot of compacting and everything to build the levels up to where.
I've
it's
seen
gonna
some
connect.
drone footage of it.
Yeah, it's incredible, but she does. I think she's way too busy, but I know she's starting to do a whole lot of media things right now. She did the forward to my book too. But
Yeah,
yeah.
if she or someone associated with that would be fantastic for a speaker series, Chip. I mean, that crossing has made national news.
It's
Yeah.
the biggest one in the world at the moment.
mean-
And I just saw that there were, and I couldn't, maybe you know about it. There's some LA newspaper I've never even heard of that when I tried to read the article, I had to, become a subscriber. So I didn't do it, but I actually saw it yesterday and it was talking about not just the Annenberg crossing, but like 6 others that are connections that are being done to connect, wildlife corridors around Los Angeles. And I'm like Los Angeles Times or Los Angeles Daily something.
If you have it, can you forward it to me?
Yeah, I don't know
mean,
where
just
it went.
they'll have
I
the
tried
link.
to.
I
I'll look
haven't
and
heard of
see.
any other.
I hadn't either, and I wanted
Not
to
in
find
Los
out, but I
Angeles. I
didn't want
know
to.
globally, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, but this one was said here, so I was really. I'll look and see if I can find it.
I wouldn't trust anything in the LA Times anymore.
And this wasn't the LA Times. It was some other. I was like, "What is this paper?" But yeah. I'll
Well,
see
you
if I
know
can find it.
something, having been a reporter for the LA Times, the best local news is coming from just new websites, that are city specific, not all of Los Angeles. They're very focused on their neighborhoods, like the West Side Current and things like that. Anyway, that's just a discussion of the First Amendment and media. That's another committee.
So should we think about the lecture series starting in the fall? We should find
Really?
out from Brian when his windows are.
Um,
Or do you want to
maybe,
wait
I don't know, it
till
might be a
after-
little early. Um,
We could wait till after
about
the first of the
spring?
year.
27.
If we do that, we could always, I think we should use the library. Harvard Westlake would probably at that point
Yeah.
offer a community room, but I think the library is a better way to go.
Amanda, when does the crossing open?
December.
Supposed to be December 2nd. I
Oh.
can see it pushing a little bit, maybe. It's just such a huge deal, but I heard that their date is December 2nd too. And I'm sure there will still be more going on with it. It's not going to be, completely, totally,
Yeah,
but it will be open to
we can say fall 26 as a target date.
take advantage of that massive
Series.
media blitz that's going to
Yeah.
be going on.
Amanda, would you want to go before the crossing to
Sure.
do your
Oh, sure.
presentation?
Yeah,
Sure. I can do it. I don't have any of those booked right now. It's not something I try to go and, book all the time, but people hear about it. We've done them for the Sierra Club and some other organizations and photography groups. And I just come up with a date and I can check with Joe, who's the other photographer, and we just do it. I go for the first half. He goes for the second half. Mine is more, it's all about the birds and the wildlife and the reserve. And then his is more about shooting there. So it's kind of 2 aspects of the same place, but it's fun.
when does the book come out?
I am working on the publisher with several different, I had a publisher that turned out not to be the right one, which very tricky publishing, I have learned, but it's got a whole lot of interest and a lot of support, and I'm just making sure I get the right publisher. So I'm definitely working on that right now.
Yeah, I think I would love to see a presentation on the overpass before they open it.
Yeah, I don't know who, I don't know, who would do that. Beth, I'm sure, is way too busy. I keep seeing her on the news now, like that's all ramping up again with her doing that, but could reach out to them and find out.
Well, you will start a little email to the 3 of us, an email chain, sharing
Yeah.
it, or the whole committee, frankly, on a speaker series.
And that I don't remember the person's name at Pasadena Humane, but if you just ask for the woman who specializes in the coyote presentation, that they will know.
I'm
Because
sure.
we had, who was the person that came out? It wasn't Klaus, Scott. Do you remember who it was? Laurie, remember when that person spoke? It was one of
She did all the
whatchamacallit.
critters. She did coyotes, possums, raccoons, right? At the library.
Well, yeah, but she didn't lead with coyotes. People were asking her questions, and she was, well, wait a minute, we don't normally talk about this a whole bunch, but we rehabilitate coyotes as much as we rehabilitate bunnies. And so she was advocating for do you have it, Andy?
Yeah, I have it's called Living with Coyotes, and it's done through Pasadena Humane, and they'll do a presentation, community groups, schools, neighborhood associations. So done.
Yeah.
Chip,
That would be well attended, by the way,
we have
especially at the
to.
library. But you got to start at 6 because they broom you out at 7:45. You can't start at 7.
I wish we had a hipper place to do it.
The
I
River
don't know,
Park,
but they have a multimedia setup there. I mean, do they have screen
basic.
things, or I don't know what their setup is. Do you know it, Amanda?
I go and take my laptop and work there probably 3 times a week, and I've never been in that room. I know it's big, and I know they have lots of rehearsals, and it's a lot of people go there for things, but
Well, maybe I'll knock on it. Maybe I'll go see Brian and see what he's got. But Chip, we have to essentially create a motion to do this and to fund it, because we want to have refreshments,
Yes, you're right.
social media, blah blah blah. So we have to formalize this.
you can do
Okay.
things outside, I think. I'm not sure if it's specific groups that are allowed, but I know that they've had people when there have been performances and things there, outside the library, they've had people with refreshments or
Yeah, in the little courtyard there,
yeah, sort of courtyard. Yeah.
where that guy lived for 10 years.
Yeah. He's not there anymore.
No, they finally moved him out. I think he went home, actually.
It's good.
Paul.
But
was
you
his
don't
name.
have you were talking about Radford. There's not a place, but that's really hard for people to get into and find. This is so
It's
easy.
a security concern letting the public on the lot.
Yeah.
The library is 100% accessible. And my guess is even at some point Beeman might have, I don't know, I'll just go look at the library. And see.
Beeman's going to have a small room. Harvard Westlake will have a large public room. They'll have several public spaces where we could that would be cool and elegant and completely dialed in for multimedia, clean bathrooms everywhere, all of that stuff.
You know where we had the Caltrans community meeting? At Oakwood? That room?
Was that a gym?
No, it was like an oversized classroom with a big multimedia screen.
Yeah, that works too.
And great parking, Anyway, I'll check out the library first. I like I like supporting that library.
Yes, I agree.
The one that started this conversation anyway. Brian reached out. So
I have one small thing when you're done, something I've been wanting to do towards the end of every meeting. So let me know when you're done.
I heard that about you, Scott. Go ahead. One small thing. Go.
Okay, so I'd like to read where our power is coming from right at this particular point in real time. California grid right now is 44.8% fossil fuel, 11.1% imports, and 6.3% nuclear. The renewables are single digits in 9.2%. Going back to the Department of Water and Power in particular, we've got 1,817 megawatts from fossil fuel, and the next highest amount is hydro at 372. So right now, the overwhelming amount of power is still from fossil fuels. So when you charge your electric vehicle tonight, you're charging it with power from fossil fuel. So keep that in mind when you think you're going green and you're not yet.
Unless you have solar panels like me. So, but I guess I'm renewable.
Laurie, would you like to take a tour of the solar panel fire in Boyle Heights?
No, thank you.
Aftermath.
Or the battery fire up at Moss Landing that poisoned Monterey.
Oh, God.
Yeah, lay off Laurie, Scott. Come on.
I'm sorry, you started it.
You started it.
It's just an FYI that, and your solar panels right now, Laurie, aren't generating much electricity.
Not now, they're not,
Not
no,
now.
not
Right.
at this moment, no. Not at this moment.
We have a blackout, we're all gonna be at Laurie's house.
But I am giving it back to some of it back to the grid.
Okay.
Yeah, no, definitely, because definitely, because I'm not being charged for any of it, any use. It's just a $20 mandatory fee that no matter what I do.
That's your power bill?
$20 for electric, yeah, that it's just a mandatory fee no matter what. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Andy,
right.
I will get you the notion of those ideas for the youth committee, and I'll put some ideas for all of us about the lecture series,
Yeah,
and we'll see what we can get going. It'd be great to have one or two.
we have to initiate Amanda next month, although it's her birthday. I don't know if she'll be joining us, but if you do really want to join this committee, I think you'd be a welcome addition.
I do. I don't know where I will be on my, I'm not sure I will commit to next Monday, but now I definitely would like to.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thank you much.